The brand new Egyptian defender Noor, an insane buff to Kali, a rework to Villa's basement, and even more. Welcome to Year 11 Season 3, Operation Splitfire. Now, I had the opportunity to play this season early thanks to Ubisoft, so I'm going to break down everything in this season. It's all going to be timestamped as you can see on screen, and of course, let's start off with our brand new defender, Noor. So Noor is 28-year-old Ahmed Murad. And believe it or not, Ahmed is actually the second in his family to be a Rainbow operative. Yes, if you're a long-time fan of the franchise, you may recognize his surname. Ahmed is actually the son of Jamal Murad, the ex-Egyptian operative who appeared in Rainbow Six Rogue Spear, Raven Shield, and Lockdown. And don't worry, Ahmed isn't just a Nepo baby. He's extremely skilled, but we'll cover that more in a separate lore video. Let's focus on his gameplay. So Noor is a 2-2 defending operator. His loadout consists of the Commando 9, which is present on Macie and Sentry, the older LMG, which is Maestro's LMG. He also has the 1911 TAC Ops pistol, which you may see on operators such as Maverick and Thorn. And finally, he has the Bailiff. So there is no new weapon in this operator's loadout. Again, with the existence of cross-operator weapons, he could potentially get a new weapon in the future, but as it currently stands, this is his loadout. And for secondary gadgets, he has the deployable shield and the barbed wire, and the deployable shield will actually come into play with his gadget. So Noor is equipped with the Horus Lance launcher. This gadget has a capacity of 2 rounds before you then have to reload, with a total of 5, so 2, 2, and then 1. This handheld device shoots out lances which can drill into reinforced surfaces, soft surfaces, and also stick to non-penetrable walls. If you've ever played Zero, this gadget uses pretty similar mechanics and rules that his gadget uses. It uses the same UI elements as Zero's Argus camera as well, showing you if you can drill into a surface, if it can only stick to it, and if it won't stick to it at all, making it quite simple for you to understand where his gadget can be used. So when it's deployed, the payload of the device itself will begin to drill into the surface and then deploy a constant stream of fire similar to that of a gas pipe. Now, if this is a surface which can be drilled through to the other side, even reinforcements, it will deploy this on both sides of the surface. Not only will this do damage, like a gas pipe does, but it will also destroy utility. So yes, Noor can be used to counter thermite, he can be used to counter Hibana on hatches, ace, pretty much any hard breaching device. That alone makes Noor extremely valuable. Now, he is going to be a reactive operator. You do have to be focused. When you hear Thermite placing his charge and you see it about to go off, you have to shoot your gadget. Thermite will probably be the hardest one to trick because he has the fastest detonation time out of any hard breacher, but even then, you can shoot it the moment you see it and it will still deploy first. Countering against Hibana and Ace is even easier because that detonation time takes way longer. Now, not only is Noor very good at countering hard breachers, he is a shield counter. Yes, remember what I just said about surfaces? It gets applied to shields as well. When one of his lances are shot at an attacking operator's shield, it will begin to drill into their shield and start burning them on the other side. This applies to Monty, Blitz, Fuse, and Blackbeard. Osa as well, but we'll get into her in a second. So there is a period of drilling once it is shot at the shield. During this time, the shield operator has an opportunity to pull out their knife and cut it away. It's the same input as when you're pulling out a goo mine, so on PC, it would be to hold F. However, if they do not remove it from their shield at this time, it will then begin to burn them. Now, whilst you're being burned, you can still pull it out. You're not just having to accept fate, but again, if you're pulling it out your shield, you're exposing your body. It's going to be pretty impossible for you to tank this. You are going to have to make that decision to pull it out. Now, once the lance is attached to your shield, you cannot ADS to fight back either. You can melee, but you won't be able to use your weapon. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, well, why don't I just put my shield on my back? Well, that doesn't change anything. It's still attached to your shield. It will still continue to kill you. If you're turtle planting, for example, with your shield on your back, he can still attach it to your shield. So yeah, the input works even if the shield's on your back. It still sees it as a shield. It will still attach to it and drill into it. The hitbox of the shield itself exists regardless if it's in front of you or behind you. It's still seen as a surface. It will drill into it. And watching my gameplay back, I just want to clarify something. You can shoot this anywhere on the shield and have the exact same effect. I realize in a lot of these clips, I shoot it at the glass part. It doesn't matter where you shoot it. I only shoot it at the glass part because you can visually see it. That was more for content reasons, but I just want to clarify it can be absolutely anywhere on the shield. So what are some other surfaces this can drill into? Well, to begin with, deployable shields. They will drill through deployable shields, deploying fire either side. However, it is worth noting it will shatter the glass on the shield itself, so you can't see through it anymore. And if you don't know, once a deployable shield's glass is shattered, you can't pick it up, so it is stuck there. You're not able to retrieve it. Now, the same thing also happens with Osa's shields as well. It will crack the glass and it will deploy either side. The shield will still be there. Again, Osa can't pick it up. But Osa's a bit different when she's holding the gadget. If you're actually holding the shield in Osa's hands, it just bounces off and falls to the ground. It doesn't drill into her hand like any other shield operator. I kind of wish it would. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish it would be treated like, you know, Blackbeard or Monty, for example, and drill into the shield in her hand. So there is a little bit of a different interaction there with Osa. Azami's Kiba barriers will act like any other surface. It will drill through it and deploy both sides. It will drill through both sides of Raura's dom panel. However, if you just close the dom panel, it will just destroy the lance and the dom panel will be fine to close again. So it kind of just negates it by doing that. So that's worth knowing. Oh, and castle barricades, yes, it will go through either side. It doesn't leave a hole like a fuse charge. I made sure to check for that, so it doesn't. Now, it's also worth noting it will destroy other gadgets. Like, for example, it will destroy Ram's boogie if the fire is already active. If the fire isn't active yet, then the boogie will destroy it. As well as this, if you want to destroy the lances, explosives are gonna be your only option. Can't shoot them, you can't melee them. Oh, and something which is also important to know is friendly electricity will destroy it. So Bandit and Kaid will destroy the gadget. If you want to place it on the wall, you're gonna have to wait for the electricity to be gone. There is some stuff which it couldn't destroy, like it wasn't destroying Ayana's hologram. I feel like this was a bug, but I don't have any confirmation of that. But I feel like it should destroy that, you know what I mean? So yeah, just worth keeping that in mind. Also, I don't know how much this will come into play, but it is worth noting that when Tubarao freezes his gadget, it will delay it, so you can stack them all. So like, here's a funny interaction with like 5 of them on a shield. Of course, this isn't practical, but it does look kind of cool. There is a bit of practicality though when it does come to breaches, if you think about it. Like, let's say you've got like a Kaid, Tubarao, and a Noor. You know, Kaid has it on the wall, that gets EMP'd, they place gadget, Tubarao then freezes. If you shoot one of these on either side of the wall, it should clear that when it comes back online. But you also have to remember electricity will destroy Noor, so this would be like a last-ditch effort if the electricity device, being Bandit or Kaid's, you know, Electric Law, is destroyed. Then you can use Noor to sort of counter the thermite charge and stuff like that. So there is going to be levels to the interaction here. He is quite an in-depth operator, and like what I said near the start, he is a reactive operator. So you are going to have to be playing off your teammates. You're going to have to be playing off those moments. You can't just dump this down and hope for the best. You are going to have to actively use your brain. Right, before we get into more balancing, I might as well address the map that you're all seeing right now. This is Villa. Villa, for 85% of the map, is exactly the same as it was before. However, this is the first ever targeted map update where they are focusing on minor adjustments to the map. So basically what they've done is they've moved the library bomb site down to the basement, and they've also reworked the basement. The garage is now defender area. There's a double breach alongside a double door. There's also another wall inside as well, which leads further into the bomb site. There's also a doorway around the corner where there used to be a wall by the bottom of pantry stairs. And as well as this, a bit of the layout has been changed downstairs. There's more walls. It isn't just long flowing hallways. You still can exit from outside with like the barrels and stuff like that. For the most part, it is still visually the same in many areas, but there's just more walls, better flow. And the most important thing, I think, in my opinion, is the new hatch in the red hallway. So you can actually drop directly into sight, and you can plant in this area. But the coolest thing about this hatch is you can actually rappel up it, because technically it's in the same position as the skylight. So you could always rappel up this area, but because the hatch is now basically adding another floor to this, you can rappel up this hatch because it's attached to the skylight, and you can even just get off right above the hatch. So this leads to probably one of the most unique sort of hatch plays in Rainbow Six Siege now, because not only can you plant down here, you can rappel back up it, which is pretty cool. I want to say this, of course, doesn't go for every hatch. It's just because there's already a repel prompt above this. So yeah, this is intentional. Don't worry. This was a, you know, conscious decision they made. So this is something that's meant to be here. I think it's pretty cool. But when it comes to the verticality of this bomb site, that's kind of it. You do have this hatch. You have the already existing hatch that was there before. And of course, you've got your staircases. But due to the fact that there is no vertical flooring, so your ram, sledge, buck aren't really going to be useful here. I actually think this is going to play very similar to a Oregon basement. I think it's actually going to be relatively hard for a push to actually come out here. That isn't criticism, I'm just making an observation that this is going to be a more linear focused basement bomb site, which could be better or for worse depending on how you view it. Right, let's start talking about some balancing. The biggest one in my opinion is that Kali has received a pretty major buff. So instead of being 5 times and 12 times zoom on her sniper, they have changed it to 3.5 times and 8 times. So you'll be able to take much better close range gunfights with the 3.5, and if you still need that magnification, 8 times is more than enough. 12 times was always overkill with Kali, so they brought both of them down, but it's in a much better way, and you'll even see with 3.5 times, it is so clean. Like, you just see when I ADS. Another major thing here is that they've not only added more ammo to her, with her maximum capacity going from 36 bullets up to 51, but you can shoot way more faster. Like, look how fast in succession I am shooting this sniper. It's near rapid fire if you're just clicking quite fast. Like, those close range gunfights, this is going to be an absolute deadly weapon. She is so much more smooth to use, and peeking a Kali is honestly going to punish you so much more now. Like, the first thing I want you to do when you load up the season is just play Kali in a clear house, and you'll understand what I mean. Oh, another great thing about her lance here is that when you are ADS'd and you switch to your gadget, you don't have to un-ADS. You can switch freely between, you know, sniper mode and gadget mode without un-ADSing. As you can see on screen, it just changes like the toggle. You don't have to un-ADS. So an insignificant buff to Kali. This weapon is so much more usable now. The scopes are better. She has more ammo capacity. You can shoot faster than you could before. And also her secondary SP SMG 9 has been buffed to 35 HP damage, up from 33. Dokkaebi got her changes in this patch. You may have actually seen me cover this already because they actually revealed this before in the community checkpoint of what this nerf was going to be. Basically, with her gadget, it is now a constant connection with the defender she is hacking, meaning that Mute and Tubarao can interrupt the process before the hack finishes and your phone explodes, as well as this, if Dokkaebi dies, the hack will finish because, again, she didn't finish the full upload connection, and because it's a constant connection between the two operators, Solace will be able to see Dokkaebi during the entire duration of her hack, and as well as this, IQ will be able to see the targeted defender. So it brings IQ and Solace more into the mix here as well, but gives you more ways to counter Dokkaebi. As well as this, she has lost her EMP nades and received breaching charges. Both Aruni and Tubarao's DMRs have been nerfed. To begin with, both of these weapons do less than 60 damage now. Aruni being 56 and Tubarao being 59. Both of these weapons have lost their muzzle brakes, which would usually help with recoil control, and both of them have significantly more recoil than they did before. Now, the ACOG is still there and these weapons are still usable. However, that recoil pattern is noticeable. Like, you will feel it. You can see in these clips, I am even trying my best to hold down the recoil, and don't get me wrong, it's not terrible, but it's a lot more unpredictable than it was before. Considering that you mainly have to hit 3 bullets to the chest now as well to kill, this is going to be significant for, I think, a portion of the player base. Like, I still think it's going to be usable. You're still going to take long-range gunfights. You'll still hit those long-range headshots, you know. They're not trying to kill the weapons, but yeah, it's going to be harder for a lot more people to use. The SMG 12 has also been nerfed in this patch. It now does 16 damage per shot with a capacity of 22 plus 1, meaning that is less ammo than it had before and also less damage than it had before as well. Now, it still has its blazing fast fire rate, so if you're hitting that headshot, you will still kill them. However, you're going to have to make your bullets count more. You're going to actually have to hit those shots. And yeah, it's going to require you to be a bit more precise with this weapon. and less rely on it than many people did before. Overall, pretty good nerfs to 3 of the strongest weapons in the game right now. I'm interested to see how this continues going forward and what the overall impact are going to be for these weapons for the game. There's also been some more minor buffs as well. To begin with, Lion, his scan still takes the same amount of time duration. However, what I believe the buff is here is that they have made it from when the warning begins to the actual scan starting. That duration of warning is shorter, so between activation and then the scan going off is a shorter duration of time than it was previously. I personally don't really notice a difference from my own gameplay, but maybe someone will. The same goes for Echo's yokais as well. They've made it faster for his concussions to recharge, so you'll be able to concuss people more frequently with Echo. And as well as this, they have actually buffed Kapkan. So now a single EDD has been buffed to do 62 HP of damage. Before this, it was 60, so an increase of 2 damage per EDD. I find it quite surprising that they're buffing Kapkan. Of course, this will, determine in many cases whether it's a death or not. Like, if you're stacking, that's an extra 4 HP damage than it was before. Many people get left at, 1 HP from a Kapkan, so this will determine a lot more kills. So that's actually decently substantial for Kapkan. So that is some of the buffs and balancing changes in this season. Another thing I want to talk about are, of course, the modernized maps. Now, this is, of course, we're in an era where most of the modernized maps have already came out. Like, we've got all the ranked maps modernized, all the pro league maps, all the maps that people really care about have already been modernized. So in this season, it's going to be House, Stadium Alpha, Stadium Bravo, and believe it or not, the shooting range as well as the tutorials. I mean, most of them are all the same assets, like both stadiums, shooting range, tutorials are all in the same place. They're all in the Greek stadium, so I guess that makes sense. I don't think I have any footage of the tutorials because I can't access the tutorials in the test server for some reason. So that means the only maps that are left to get modernized are Yacht, Tower, Plane, and Favela. So 4 more maps. We're getting 3 in Season 4. So by year 12, Season 1, everything should be modernized. Now, if you didn't see the most recent community checkpoint, this is also the first season where it uses the new Ubisoft anti-cheat on top of BattlEye. So this will be another level of anti-cheat, which is going to be in your game now. You'll see it when you boot the game. It's got its like entirely own process that loads up as well. So that's 2 levels of anti-cheat now that the game has when you load up. This is a new in-house anti-cheat to Ubisoft, and they said in the most recent community checkpoint as well, this is the reason why cheating has been down, is their new in-house Ubisoft anti-cheat team. Rank 3.0 has had some changes as well. So to begin with, they're keeping the 5 placements, but it's going to be a bit more valuable than it was before. So for your placements, you're going to get 100 RP per win, 50 RP per loss. Each division is 100 RP, so that means you can get up to 7.5 divisions apart from your placement games. They're making placement games way more valuable than they were in Operation System Override. Next, there's going to be a soft reset for most champions. So most champions will go down to Emerald 3, so negative 300 RP for most players. So they still have to battle it out and build their way up. But of course, placements will have a hand in that as well. That's roughly the area they'll be knocked down to. They're actually making base ranked points higher. So the base amount you can get right now is 25 RP per win. They're making it 30 per win starting in Season 3. As well as this, they're changing some of the MMR restrictions. Basically, if you're an Emerald player who is queuing with Plat and Gold, you will not be playing against champions at all. There is a system in place where if you are Emerald, you can play against champions, but if there's Plat and Golds in your lobby, you won't get that high. Therefore, you'll be playing games where you won't be getting as much MMR, so it's not actually going to benefit you as much, but it also means that a champion player won't play against a Plat and Gold player. And of course, the big thing they're pushing this season is Legends Division. This is the new pinnacle rank above Champion. There is a full visible leaderboard for every region, which any player can see. This is a solo queue playlist that opens mid-season only for Champion players, and you're locked into the region that you choose. The top 100 players for each region at the end of the season will receive an exclusive charm with their position on the leaderboard on it. So Champion is no longer the top of the game. You want to get as high as you can on the Legends Division leaderboard, which is just a whole nother level of competitiveness. And they also gave us some information about the new event coming this season known as the Drone Race event. Now, this is called the Wasteland Circuit, which has that sort of Wasteland Mad Max sort of theming to it. There's going to be 3 different tracks, and it's going to be a free-for-all mode. And, well, we're going to race skins. I don't know if I have the asset. If I do, you'll obviously see it on the screen. but they also showed us what some of the pack collection is going to look like, and it seemed like there was a new masterpiece weapon skin, so the Memento skin, for the LMG, which Amaru and IQ have. Now, of course, this is only the start of the season. We're going to have major mid-season balancing as well, bunch of stuff throughout the season, but I think the biggest thing here is obviously Noor. I really like Villa. I like the fact that we're getting targeted map updates. They actually said that there's going to be a targeted map update every season. There isn't a new map, so I assume season 4 we're going to get a new targeted map update then, because that season hasn't got a new map, or are we getting a new map in season 4 and they just haven't told us? So yeah, they said that back at Paris, and I'm like, maybe they misspoke. They reaffirmed that in the reveal this time as well. So season 4 has to have something then based on that terminology. But yeah, I think Noor is actually very strong. Quite interested to see how he fits into the meta. And of course, we're going to have lore videos and stuff like that as well. And honestly, I think based on what they did with Raura, I think he may get a new weapon in his kit in Season 4 or Season 1 of Year 12. Because I think we're bound to get another cross-swap weapon. I think he'll be the first one they give it to. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you all in the next one. I love you all. Stay safe.